Stream. That's me. We're ready to rock and roll, guys. Nah, just as long as you stay in the dark. Leave the pants on, or stay in the dark. Is that working? That link I put there? Oh, Stack's here. Hello, my friend, me buddy.
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, son. How you doing?
It's been a long time.
So it does work. David Carlisle says, "You're still in the dark, but now I know there's no sound." Huh.
Yeah, when you first went live, there was no sound.
Oh, okay.
But as soon as your icon popped up, I started hearing audio.
Oh, okay. You see that guy, Pat Paulson?
Yeah.
He's only 45 minutes from me, and we met on a Tool channel, and we've been talking about going to Turner's, which is a big, old-fashioned junkyard with cars from, you name it, they got it. Carlisle says he still doesn't hear no sound. I wonder why.
Now he said you're still in the dark, but now there's no sound. I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Is Monkey King not seeing us either?
I haven't seen him pop in yet, or Nickel.
Well, Nickel, jump in and out. Oh, who's this? This is devices.
Okay, he says he can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got to give Dave a little bit of time. He's like your age, man.
Oh. Hey, I'm surviving. I'm sure he is too.
Hey, that's all we can do these days, brother.
Oh, hell yeah! I mean, like tomorrow, like today, I have to go to pick up my two granddaughters. I actually take my wife to go babysit my granddaughters. Go see my grandson play tackle football. His first time.
Nice.
Then we come back home, have lunch. Then I come home with my wife and the two kids, and they're gonna see my son-in-law's son, he's a stepson to my daughter, and they're going to a town 25 minutes outside of town, and they're gonna watch him play tackle football. Here's a 14-year-old boy that looks like he's 6. He's a big boy.
Yeah, I never had that problem.
You have all girls and grandsons and granddaughters?
No, I'm talking about being a big old boy. I was decent size, but I was nowhere near being the biggest one on my team ever.
Well, in Catholic school, they always put you by size. The shortest is the front, and the biggest is the back. Even the girls were bigger or taller than me. But I was always number 5 or lower, all through, probably 8th grade, 9th grade. And then in 12th grade, I shot up 5 inches and stayed here at this 5'9". That's it. But my parents are 5'4" and 5'2", so damn, I'm lucky to be this tall.
I was 6 foot at 12.
Damn. That's crazy.
I was taller than most of my mom's brothers. Well, all my mom's brothers at 12. My dad was like 6'2", so I was still shorter than him. He's about 6'1", 6'2". I'm like right above him, but not by much.
The funny thing is, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Mom was 6 foot, and grandma, mom's mom, was 6 foot.
Everybody on my mother's side of the family was all short. I mean, by the time I was 11, I was taller than my aunts, my uncles, my mom, my grandmother, all of them.
It's funny how you say that because in my dad's family, all his brothers were 5'11", 6 feet, and my grandma was like 5'7" or 5'6", taller than my dad. And my dad's brothers, except for one, he was skinny as all through his life. I mean, he could eat for days on end and go to bed at night. He wouldn't put a pound on it for nothing. And but like most of they're all 6 footers. I mean, I don't know what happened to my dad because he was the same size as some of the girls or most of the girls in this family, and there's 10 of them. But on my mom's side, shoot, I'm a giant compared to all my uncles and my aunts on my mom's side.
Yeah, I topped out at 6 foot. With all this degenerative disc disease, I think I'm down to 5'11" if I'm lucky. I mean, I've literally shrunk an inch.
Pat says he's been ordering. He's up late. Usually, I catch him before midnight, but he's ordering tools out of Italy. He sells tools for a living, part time.
Nice meeting you, Pat.
Pat, this is Cyclops Steve from Tennessee. Did I get that right,
Yes.
Steve?
Yes, sir. You finally said it right.
and Monkey King, you see the MKM? That's Monkey King Metals. He is a re-entried and resident to California. He's down in Southern California.
Yeah.
He's an
I'm
Indiana
dead center
boy
to
at heart.
send you. Fuck no. God.
This
Come
is
on.
my first stream in shoot, I would say 2 years, 3 years.
Monkey, I thought you was
went to
born
high
in
school.
Indiana.
No.
You lived there for a long time, though, right?
I lived there for quite a bit of time. So
Okay, maybe that's where I got confused.
Where I'm currently at right now is the town that I was actually born in. I was raised in Riverside, California. All right. And then back in 94, my grandfather was applying for jobs via dropping his resume for programmer. He was a Unix programmer. And he found a job in Louisville, Kentucky, doing a Unix programming. And so him and my grandmother decided to, instead of doing the long distance, shit, they said, well, we're gonna move back there, and moved me. My grandparents had partial custody of me and my brother, so they moved us back to Indiana. They decided to go about 30 miles outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and be in the country. And I went to high school back there. So that was 95 to 2000. I was there. And I graduated high school back there. And I came back to California. I spent about 10 years, almost 11 years out here in California. Took care of my grandparents. My uncles had an opportunity to kick me out of the house even though I was taking care of their parents. And I stayed a couple of months. I left, go back to Indiana, and spent another almost 10 years there. So I spent about half my life in that area.
Well, I'm glad I'll get you guys. I thought I lost you guys forever because my internet went off for a minute. I guess it rebooted itself. I guess it got too hot or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes. So so on that, Hector, is all the computer electronical devices like your routers and even your laptop, they actually, depending on how you set it up, depends on when it's going to do its update.
Mhm.
Most likely the routers, they do that like 3 o'clock in the morning
Right.
when really no one's really on.
Right.
But it all depends on how you set it up. But yeah, you were glitching just a little bit, but I figured it was because of your phone. But
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I still get this going because I have, like I said, I haven't streamed in years. I mean, even David knows how long it's been around because I think he's a month older. Oh no, he says he is a month older than I am. We compared notes one time. It sounds just like Cyclops too.
Yeah, Dave's a cool dude.
Have you heard of the Cyclops, Dave?
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing Dave around for years.
Yeah, his voice is almost the same. You guys must be from the same part of the country.
He's a Bama boy.
Oh no! Don't tell me he is. He is.
Yeah, he's an Alabama boy. Yeah, he's
not the one with red wave.
Just south of me.
Just south of you. Well, I just figured out where Kentucky is and where Tennessee is to you in relation to you. I figured that out the other day.
Kentucky's just north of me. Alabama's just south.
Yeah, so you're in between.
I went from back in high school. Me and this girl that I knew in church, she wanted to go down to do the Brownsville revival thing, and so one day we decided to take a road trip, and we went from Palmyra, Indiana, and got on Interstate 64 or Highway 64, and she was going to start driving through Louisville. She had never been in a big city. Okay, this is how country this girl was. Right? So I told her to get into the right-hand lane, far right-hand lane, because we were going to take 65 south. And she gets back in the middle. It's a three-lane stretch when you're crossing into Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
And she ends up getting in the middle lane. Well, the middle lane and the left lane end up taking 64 going east. All right. And if you get in the right lane, it's 65 going south. And she gets in the middle lane, and I told her to try to get back over, and she's flipping out. So she parks where it splits there. She parks in that Y, gets out, and we switched spots because she couldn't really handle it. And so I drove all the way through Kentucky, and then it goes Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and then Florida. You can touch Florida from 65.
The only places I've driven myself for a long period of time is taking the 10 east, and then the 40, and then going up to Arkansas, through Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, maybe. Yeah, Arkansas.
Yeah.
A little bit of Oklahoma, but mostly right through Springfield, Illinois. That's about the most I've ever driven.
Hey, Hector, did you see what Dave put in the chat?
Face purple crying.
No, above that.
Oh, above that.
Cyclops Stacks and I used to go to different schools together.
Is that different?
That's funny. That is friggin' funny.
Well, the thing is, it's only like between the northern, where Louisville, Kentucky is at, to the southern border of Kentucky and the northern border of Tennessee, and even Tennessee, the span from Kentucky to Tennessee to Alabama.
That's a short drive.
It's not that far. That's like maybe 250 miles at that.
Yeah, going north to south, we're pretty thin as far as boundaries goes. Now, in Alabama, going north to south, that's a haul.
Well, for
So-
us, if you drove from the Oregon-California border down to Tijuana, Mexico border, you're looking at 10 to 12 hours straight.
Oh yeah. And that's the 5 freeway, and that's if you don't hit traffic.
Yeah, true. But I try
so-
to stay away from I try to take the coast. Once I get in LA, I hit the coast.
Oh yeah.
The PCH lanes, it's a lot quicker.
So
I've been
I
to
drive.
Tijuana once. I've said I've been there, and I'm good.
Steve, if I went to Tijuana, you couldn't even find me because I'd be blended
Yeah.
in with the rest of the people.
Yeah, well, I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb.
Well, you would be, and then if you just speak, that'd be even worse.
Well, that's what did it,
Yeah.
because I mean, hell, you know, I was quite a bit younger. I had jet black hair. I was browner than most of the Mexicans down there. So
Yeah, that's true.
But as soon as I opened my mouth, they were like, "Gringo."
Where'd you go, Gringo? Come here, Gringo. Here, my
Yeah.
friend. You're my friend. Come over here, my friend.
So I drive through Kentucky and to the Tennessee border, and that's when we swapped spots. So her first time she ever drove through a big city, Stacks, you're gonna laugh at this one, was Nashville.
Nashville
Like-
is a nightmare. You got I-65, I-40, and I-24 all coming together within like a mile of each other.
Yeah. So listen to this. So she's losing her mind. Okay, and so we're literally just taking 65 south. Okay, we're not veering off of anything, you know, and it's about, I want to say, maybe like 7-8 o'clock at night. All right, and all of a sudden on our right hand side, our left hand side, the driver's side, a big old like jacked up, souped up pickup truck just goes right past her. She lost her ever losing mind. She about wrecked. That truck passed.
Well, don't feel bad there, Steve. When I went to Tijuana, and I figured my Spanish is pretty good. And all of a sudden, I asked for a price, and all of a sudden, the guy goes, Norteño. He didn't call me gringo, he called me Norteño, which means a northern person.
Yeah.
Dang.
But at least
man.
I was about the same, I guess, awareness of I looked American because I didn't wear clothes that are more typical of people from Mexico. I wear my jeans and my cowboy boots and probably, just a regular t-shirt, So
That sounds like what I was wearing when I was there.
nah, okay. So then we stuck out like thumbs, like I go to my mom's hometown and they said, "You're not from here, are you?" But they don't tell me that way. They just tell me, "You're not from this part of the country." I go, no, I haven't. My mom hasn't been here since. Oh shoot! Now it's over 67 years now.
I will say this: in the 10 plus years that I've been gone from my hometown, things have changed quite a bit.
Well, a lot of
I
things.
was
Even in small towns where I grew up, it's all changed. Downtown looks
Oh, yeah.
deserted.
But
It's the same thing with downtown Nashville. You wouldn't catch me going to downtown Nashville for nothing these days. I felt safer back in the 80s, when you could get cocaine on one corner, a hooker on the other corner, and a bag of weed right across the street, and now it's all
Right.
touristy, and it's a nightmare.
yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of sucks. But and that's kind of the cool thing that like it going through all these areas. We passed the Corvette Museum and
Bowling Green.
and everything. Yeah,
Yep.
and this was before the sinkhole. This was pre-sinkhole.
No, that was crazy. I saw
Yeah,
that.
I
So,
remember
man.
that. Yeah, a girl I dated years ago. Her father worked there forever, and I think he was actually working there when the bottom fell out. Literally.
Yeah, that I think there's still cars still in that hole.
Oh yeah, it would cost too much money to get them out, even though they're priceless cars, and like they're all 001s.
But so we get through Tennessee, and she gets about maybe 50 miles into Alabama, and we switch spots again, and we're driving a Geo Metro, all right, and she's in the back seat, taking a nap after the dramatic events of Nashville. She's like, "Oh my God, what was that?" Me and her brother were laughing our asses off. I was like, "Oh, you poor girl, you've never been through a big city. Well, guess what? You just popped your cherry."
Oh man, I can't. That reminds me when you said something like that. I was at my dad's place and I had just closed the door behind me, and I just looked over, and there, you got a lot of frontage in my dad's property, and right across the property is a vineyard, and I saw this bare ass, and I saw 2 feet up on the window, and a lady was driving, and the guy was bare ass on top of another girl. I've never seen that before. Why would anybody be in a that kind of situation when someone's driving you and you're boning another person?
Yeah, I think I'd just pull over and park.
I wouldn't even have anybody.
People do.
I wouldn't have anybody in the same car. Jeez.
And some people are like that.
Maybe I'm a prude, but that was too much for me to handle.
So in this Geo Metro, when she's taking a nap, about, I don't know, 11:30, 11:45, I said, "Screw it. Let's see how fast and how far we can get in this thing." And I pushed this Geo Metro up to 90 miles an hour. I was doing a mile every 45 seconds. And when we finally get to our destination, she's like, "How come we got here so quick?" You don't want to know. She's like, "You better tell me." Well, I'll be honest with you. I was doing 90 miles an hour.
I saw in the mail in a speed bump size Metro.
I had that thing floored. And she's like, "You are not driving back." I said, "Okay." I wanted to make up time. We got the floor. We went from Palmyra, Indiana, to Destin, Florida, in less than 12 hours.
See, Destin and Fort Walton Beach, that's where I always used to go on vacation.
Yeah, it's not a bad little spot.
Well, it used to not be. Now it's so grown up. It's crazy.
Oh, I don't doubt that one bit. The last time I was there was in '99.
Well,
2000.
You wouldn't recognize the place now.
If you even thought of it right now, the way the girls wear their bikinis, if you look in the wrong direction, you'll take a big moonshine to it.
Oh, dude, I seen a couple today. I was like, "Oh, these dirty things, girls."
Yeah, well,
and they were gorgeous girls. Don't get me wrong. I just walked down the beach. I was walking up and down the beach looking for shells. So, I got my glance in, and then I just kept looking down and looking for shells.
So these days they don't even leave. They don't leave anything to the imagination.
Yeah.
True. But
I mean, Steve might not know this, but I went to Black's Beach in San Diego. Do you know that one, Steve?
No.
It's clothing optional beach.
there's a couple areas here.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's the thing is, we were talking about it on the channel, is that there's so many things that people don't see in California. There is the offer. Granted, the cost of living where I'm currently at is through the roof. I'm gonna have to, when I get a regular full time job, I'm gonna have to get some kind of part time job to supplement being able to get into a place. But it's if I go inland, then yeah, the rent starts dropping. But even if I were to go to Anaheim, I'm looking at least $1,000 a month minimum for an apartment.
Hell, that's what rent's running. Cheap rent. I mean, like a studio apartment's around my area right now is running you at least $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think is extreme, but in my area, the home across the street is going for $29.75 a month.
Yeah, rental homes are crazy. I mean, a 2-3 bedroom apartment will run you over $2,000 a month in my area right now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And the thing is look, where I know where you're at. I know the air. I don't know it fully well, but I know it enough to understand that even though you're rural and not really city,
Yeah.
it's the cost of living, no matter where you go in the United States, is about the same. It depends on the work area. The work that you get is that area.
I don't think Steve knows that you and I met and you stayed the night here at my house.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
You knew? Okay, good.
Yeah. Hector, I will say this, that I did see something that I wouldn't have mind looking into when I left the last day I was there.
Don't tell me it was Hector's the nude beach.
No.
Nah. There's nothing even close to that.
No.
Not even close to that.
No, actually, but there was something that did spark my interest, and because it's something that I wouldn't mind, doing, and it's Hector can you can verify it, but it's from where you're at, Hector. If you were to take that road that we went to go to the Harbor Freight and everything, you were to take that all the way down on the right hand side, the very last house before you go back on the main road. It's for sale.
Yep.
I was like, dude, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind going back up to that area. I wouldn't. But if I do, I want to get in. Like I'm coming to I'm really just deliberating on actually putting myself into debt just so that I could get them. Because I know that if I could get into a place that I actually can do other things without, worrying about, HOA, not so much the HOA thing, but more, like apartment living thing, where, I could have access to like a garage and work on things and make things and so on and so forth. I'm literally come to that of getting to that point where I'm like, I'm willing to put myself into debt just so that I can get out of what I'm currently my current situation.
Well, let me tell you about a concept I've been mulling over. Getting yourself in debt is probably, well, not credit card debt and not loan debt, not personal loan debt, not HELOC, anything that's over prime rate.
No, I'm talking like a house loan.
Yeah. That is a good debt because you can write so many things off of that.
Because and if I do it, then I would probably I'm like I said, I wouldn't mind going back up. I actually didn't mind where you're at. The area is nice. You know, I don't mind being inland, and even if I do decide to, you know, go on a road trip, it's not far to go down over Teton, Pass, and you come back into the LA Valley and everything. There's some from where Hector's at. Stack is I can be in almost the same distance from San Francisco to LA from where he's at.
Hector, where do you like north of Bakersfield?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Way
more.
north, okay.
If you took a dot on the map and you put it equally between the border and TJ border, and you go from Nevada to the Pacific Coast, I'm dead center of the state.
Okay.
Yeah. Hector is literally dead center. Yeah, it's not a bad little area. You got the hills.
I got the
to
hills.
the east.
To the west, I've got the Pacific Ocean. I've got the Delta north of me, which some people think that we have a lot of water in California, but we have the bays coming down through the Central California all the way through the other side, and then flows back out to the Stockton area. And I got LA down there. I got the desert down there. So,
aren't you close to the Sierra Madres?
Yeah, I'm about 80 miles from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love the mountains. Any mountains.
My dad was what kind of funny because his sister and him were the hillbilly folks.
What's up, Rich Cali?
They were born up in. Hey, Rich, man, I have not talked to you in ages, man. That is a cool dude. Rich Kelly knows a lot about coins, a lot.
That's a new one on me. Nice to meet you.
Rich Kelly, this is Steve, and this is Zach. And the guy below you right now is Pat. He's a neighbor down the street about 45 minutes from me. Internet-wise.
Okay, so Hector, I'm gonna eventually talk to you a little more on this home thing.
Okay.
Because like I said, I don't with everybody, I hear all this stuff about students getting out of their debts and for their student loans and all this shit. Like like if I really wanted to do that, I wouldn't mind going back to school. But I'm tired of what I'm currently. Everybody is like, oh, it's just gonna be so high. Everything is gonna be high. I don't care. I will do whatever it takes just to make my fucking self happy.
Well, my daughter at 27 got her own home. I didn't even realize she was saved. Well, she was going to college at the same time, but I didn't know we didn't charge her rent or nothing like that. She just paid her bills and she stayed in the room and she went out and came back, and then about 3 years later she tells us, "Oh, I bought a home." What? When did you tell us you were buying a home? I said, "Well, I had enough down payment, so I bought myself a little home." At the time she was single, and geez, it's kind of surprises.
Right.
What's up, Austrian Stacker? That's a good surprise.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. Yeah. And then my son did the same thing, but he bought himself a condo. Richard, would you like to come up?
Yeah, Monkey, if you decide to buy a house, whatever you do, don't get involved with an HOA.
Yeah, do not do that.
All right. Well, like I said, if I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna do this, I'm probably gonna try to do this before the end of the year.
Well, Mr. Pat Paulson, I went to school at 40 and I got my degree at 43. And good luck to your wife. Tell her it's worth it. I was even older than most of my instructors, and I was having to beat my PT scores against guys who were 20, 23 years younger than me. So tell her, hey, go for it.
Yeah.
I didn't start college till I was 25.
You're so youngster then.
The first college course I took was 22, 21.
Well,
And
even though I'm not in education anymore, I'm mainly retired. I was thinking about going for my master's, but my wife says that's a waste of money. I said, what else am I going to do?
Hey, keep your mind sharp.
Yeah. Hey, even Pat Paulson's daughter's going to school. Almost 30. That's still young. I mean, that's graduate work right there. She's getting her second master's. Oh, shoot. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, Rich Callie, he also is a fine carpenter. I've seen some of his work in his photos. He made these doors. I don't remember how tall they were. I think they were 14 feet tall, and handmade, hand formed. Really, really looking good.
And that's some serious doors.
Yeah, and they're thick too. I'm not sure how thick they were. Probably Richard can tell you about it more. But man, he was a master carpenter.
Decided on barber or clown college.
Clown probably pays better.
You know, as much as these kids get their haircuts, they get their haircuts at least once or twice a week. I'm sorry, once or twice a month. I'm sorry, once or twice a month. And there's always kids coming in telling me, "Hey, you need a haircut." I said, "I got one 6 weeks ago." That's kind of you need a little more of burr on that.
My grandmother was a weekly woman.
I haven't had a haircut in over 2.5 years.
Oh, you don't mean to tell me you have a mullet?
No, I'm letting it all grow out long.
October 3rd, it will be 5 years. I haven't had a trim or cut.
Well, me and Hector, me and Rocky Mountain Bear, I think we're on the same page. We're letting it grow out, and I actually found out. Somebody told me in one of the live stream chats that mine's already well past being long enough to serve the purpose that I want. I'm gonna, when I get it cut, I'm gonna donate it to the Locks of Love Foundation.
Yeah,
they make wigs for children with cancer that have lost their hair. And I thought, that's a fairly noble cause,
Yeah.
Even though this long hair is driving me freaking crazy. I used to love having long hair. Now, nah, not so much. My grandkids love it. I don't know why.
You see, Rich Kelly's by his name, you can tell he's in California. Hey, Rich, Pat Paulson is a neighbor by internet by 45 miles from me.
Yeah, I heard that too, Pat.
Lots of love. Lots of love.
Not always. Yeah, they actually don't. But yeah, I've been told that too. Because I have 2 cuttings of my hair that I over the last 20 years that I've grown my hair out. and they say that Locks of Love is a scam. But
Oh, don't tell me that, man. I've gone this long without a haircut, and it's a scam.
Oh, there's other places you can get it donated. Just go.
there's other places. Just look. I would do a little research before you donate it or even cut it. Just
Well, the chick that cuts my hair, she knows. She's actually called me a couple of times over the past 2 years because she worries about me. She said, "Are you okay?" Or I was making sure you was still alive and making sure you're okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I explained to her why I haven't been there, and so I guarantee you, she's been cutting hair. Hell, she's been cutting my hair since I was like 20.
Dang. She's that
So
old?
she would she'd probably be the first person I talk to. If anybody knows,
Yeah.
she'd know. If not, I'll just get on the interstate, get on the internet and do some research.
Rich Kelly also told me that right now that he's had his some of his work done in Architectural Digest.
Sweet.
So he's been a big time name in the industry. He's been collecting coins. I think he said over 50 years.
Yeah, I got since you said that, I need to actually send that link to Uncle Al, the oldies and goodies.
Is he still okay? Is he in a retirement home or what's?
No, I guess he was hospitalized for a little bit. He's done 2 lives recently. The first time was when I left you, and I was headed to down south. He had did a live, and I put because John and Hoovy had put it in our group chat that Uncle Al was live, and so I told him to send me the link so I could go there, and it was just something for me to listen to while I was driving.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in over a year.
Yeah, I guess he's doing better. He's I guess he's got a bunch of packages and whatnot, and he's trying to, from what he was saying, he's trying to collect mint sets of all the years, and I think he's the only ones he's missing is I think some in the 50s and most of the like 2000. Or I think he said 2013 to date, whatnot. So, and I guess he's trying to go for all the, like silver proof sets, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, Pat, I can definitely relate to that, brother.
Yeah, I got lucky getting this all done because Rich and I we used to talk from 9 o'clock in the evening until the sun rose up the next day on the phone, several times, and we just gab away about everything from grandkids to our past jobs, our interest in coins, and man. And I was just thinking about him last week about how am I get a hold of him? Because he's also a northern boy. He's up near the Bay Area.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Phil DeBoard is also in that area, not far from where you're at.
Yeah.
And he had said that the coin shop that he goes to that he's been frequenting for some time. I guess the new owner was letting him search through some stuff to help him out, and he had, I guess, said he got like 5,000 Indian head pennies, and ended up finding the 77. It was like, I guess he said it was like a 4-1, maybe a AG2.
Well, like I said, this is my first stream I've done in years. A live stream, and Rich Kelly shows up. That's awesome. And then you guys also found me, so that's another thing that I I'm really bad at
Well,
streaming.
when we were over at Pops and you hopped off, me and Stacks and Nickel were still talking, and Stacks was like, "Hector just went live." We're like, huh? What? So we're like, all right, let's hop off of here.
Well, I tried to message. I guess my internet cut out so much, but I said, okay, I'm gonna try to get off my phone and go on the internet and just set it up because I didn't know how long that it would take, but I went ahead and did it, and so I said, well, I said everything I could. I hope you guys show up, and then I started with a blank screen. Well, actually, you saw part of me, but with my this patch. I started looking at that and going, okay, maybe it's going to go on. And then it's already 10, 15 seconds. Nobody saw it. I said, I better wait a little bit longer. I said, yep, here we come. And everybody starts showing. Yeah, see, Kelly's been collecting since the 1960s.
All right. So,
Grief.
hey, Rich, I got something, and Hector's actually seen this coin. And actually, I looked at that again, Hector, and I tried seeing if I could take a picture of the reverse that you said could have been a DDR.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it. I couldn't see it, but I really need to get my scope on it, really prove it. But did the app that I showed you, did it work for you? It did, but the lighting in the van and the sun and everything, it even with the little light option, I just couldn't get the right lighting on it. But so Rich, I'm just gonna throw this out there. All right, I have a 1916 Philadelphia Mercantile that shows doubling on the front. On it, it's a DD. I believe to be a DDO. I don't think it's machine doubled. I've looked at the whole. I've had Hoovy actually send me a link on it of how to determine the differences between all the different DDOs. Machine doubling, hub doubling, all that stuff. And the Liberty, In God, and the date are all doubled on the front. And then when I was visiting with Hector noticed that there could possibly be a DDR on it. And if that's the case, it would be, what's up, Richie? It would be a first of its kind, because I was at a coin shop up in northern Washington where I was at for a short time, and he had the Cherry Pickers Guide, and in that version, not the newest version, but in that version that he had, it was the only time that there was a DDO was in 1928. So if I can get my coin verified as being a legit DDO, it'll be a first of its kind.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, that'll be a few bucks.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, gentlemen, I hate to interrupt, but I'm going to have to get off here. The wife's up. I'm going to visit with her a little bit before she heads to work.
Okay.
But
well, I'm glad you made it.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me up here, man. I always enjoy talking to you guys, and
Same
always
here.
Enjoy meeting new people in the chat. And love and respect. Everybody have a great day, and I'll be talking to y'all soon.
Same here. And tell your wife
take care,
howdy
brother.
for us. And tell her thank you.
What's that?
And
tell your wife hello, howdy, and tell her that I'll give her a cookie too later.
I'll tell her.
I was waiting for that.
Hey, y'all take care.
Good night.
Later, Stay.
Later, brother.
Pat. Steve, he said good night. He said good night. Nice to meet you, man.
Oh yeah, Pat. Nice. Yeah, same here, brother. Take care. Have a good one.
But
Yeah, I just went through. Oh, I did tell you that I went through some quarters today, and I found me my W, my first one. I mean,
mhm.
I bought two of them, but this is my first one I found.
It's good that there's and people say, "Oh, but everybody blocked them out." And,
I'm sorry.
people, people are like, "Oh, they're not in circulation no more." I'm like, really? I was finding them like crazy. In the 2 years that I spent up in,
I don't think all 2 million have been found. They're already
Nah.
bases, yeah.
and the thing is that I was finding them 3 years after the fact, 4 years after the fact. It's and I believe at least till the end of this decade they'll still be circulating. Now when you get to that 10-year mark, it's gonna be, they're not gonna be as nice, but but hey, it's still a fine.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering what kind of work that just. Oh, I must have been working on his coins, maybe. That must be it. I was wondering what Rich was taking a break from his work, and I said, "But we used to do that. We used to talk about him doing his work, So, yeah, I hate autocorrect too. I don't try to use contractions. So, what are your plans today? There's Zach.
Not much. I try not to run the van, and so I can save on gas. I try to either go to the beach and park, out of people's houses areas, because one night I got called because I was there 2 days in a row in the same spot, and they're like, "Well, yeah, the douchebags called the cops on me." It's like, well, we got a call saying that you were sitting here for the last 2 days. Yeah, but not all day long.
Hey, Monkey, did you see what Rich Kelly says? As what I told you, that I find the serifs on the D when there's a little separation, and you can shine a light on it and just to define that. That's what he taught me. Oh, as a matter of fact, did I tell you that I found two nickels that are DDs, the double what do you call
DDRs?
it? Yeah, DDRs. A 61D and a 64D. They're not in great shape.
Dude,
I'll take it.
I was kind of going through my coin collection, and I have two nickels, a 1964 proof and a 1959 proof, and they're not the S mint mark. Okay, so they're Philadelphia proof. But I think that, and I posted it in our little group chat, that I was like, "Hey, does this look like it's full step?" Like, I would actually get them graded if I and they're in phenomenal condition. I would say if I could try to get, I'm thinking I could get at least them at 65. But even at that, it's like some of them. If I think the 65 might be $100, but if I can get a 67, you're looking at a couple of grand.
Yeah,
it's not in the.
I sent not a video short. It was the coin channel, that guy.
The blue-eyed dude.
Yeah, I don't know if he's blue-eyed because I can't tell color from videos. But the guy with he has a beard, that's black hair.
Yeah, I know. He's throwing out information. He's throwing out information that shouldn't be there because people are, and the stuff that he's sending out, that people are saying they're finding 1943 copper pennies like 3 and 4 and 5 at a time. I'm like, there's no way.
Well, he did a live stream that became a video on his channel, and he was showing all the 2023 Philadelphias of the Washington quarter, and it actually showed all the cuds on top of the name of the person and on the airplane. And what I saw, what my son-in-law found, was on the lips of the I can't remember her name.
Are you talking to Tuskegee Airmen, or are you talking about Betsy Coleman?
Betsy Coleman.
Okay.
And the other one was the Kanaka Oli.
Oh, that's the Hawaiian lady.
Yeah, they've got a number.
I like that design.
I like the 25 cent. The one that's almost 25 cents. Reminds me of
that's
arcade or something.
Yeah, I like that. I like that reverse a lot better. But Rich, I know people have lives outside of YouTube, and a lot of people don't really have time to look around. But I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick. If you would like to see the coin, I did show that 1916 on one of my live streams, the second to last live stream that I did. It's back in, I think, April. I want to say it's like April earlier this year. It was earlier this year. And at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark is when I bring this coin into this that I'm talking about onto the stream and under the scope. I showed showed everything. There's splitting in God in some of it. There's split. There's doubling on the date. There's doubling on the word liberty. Hector saw it and looked at it and saw that there's a possibility of a DDR with the word dime. And I truly believe that I've got full split bands on it. So if I'm gonna go get it graded, I want it to be verified as being full split bands, because if I can get full split bands, I know it's gonna jump up the price a little bit more.
I got mine. I got the second volume. I didn't need to get the first one.
Oh yeah.
Look what Richie said. Richie says that he had more than a couple dozen nickels graded from PCGS that were full steps in high grades. I can tell you that's one of the things he told me about looking at coins, especially nickels, if they have high steps, full steps, I should say.
Yeah, I think I have full steps on a 59 proof and a 64 proof. The 59 has, I think there's like one small hiccup on it, but I can count the steps. But when I threw it into our little group chat that we have, the people that's in the chat, in our little group chat, they're like, they based off the designation that they're saying for full step is that there can be no contact marks or anything like that, and that the 59 I think has one like small contact. But the 64 I think is the better of the two. But yeah,
Rich is the one that he knows. He's been doing this for, like I said, 50 years, but he's also been teaching me how to look for coins. Well, I should say in the past, because I haven't talked to him in a while. Jeez, I need to get back and talking to him. He knows a whole lot more than I do. What to look for?
I'm getting good at grading. Like I was over at the Durbin's auction one. It wasn't really an auction. He was one of those like, let's just chit chat and have a good time and show off coins and so on and so forth. And he did a couple of gauze. He didn't state that it could only be one person can win a GA at a time. So I accidentally won 3 GAs in one night. I won it was just a Canadian or a Kennedy $50. I think it was like a 2000. Then I won a copper stash box thing that he had done. And then the biggest one was that he threw out an annex graded coin, and it was an SOQ, and he's like, if you guess the grade, he didn't show. He literally just showed the back and had it face down on the table, and I'm the only person that actually had the right answer, and I put in chat VF35. I didn't see the beginning. You know, Pat. I didn't see it from the earlier in the stream, so I was literally taking just a wild guess. You know what I mean? But based off what I was seeing, I was like, okay, I think that's probably about a VF 35. Didn't believe that I actually hit it on spot, and they end up winning a Canadian coin Durban belt.
Oh, I turned in my coins in on Thursday, and in the change, I only had $151 in rolled coin to turn in. So I told the girl, "Nah, just give me $50 more and just make it 201." And the $1 turned out to be a star note.
Nice.
But I didn't notice it until today. Yesterday, Friday, and I should have went back and said, "You got any more of these little numbers in your?" This one here wasn't rare at all. Rich Kelly says it depends. At some years they let you get away with a little more. Likewise, from yours they don't let you get away with anything. All of the proof coins they should have full steps. Yeah.
Yeah, now I know EP said that too, because I was looking at a proof set, but from what EP was saying was that the ones that get full steps as a nation are the Philly and Denver ones, because they're not as good.
Well, I always thought. I don't remember everything, and I don't write everything down. I should put a little post-it notes note, but I still don't have a place to put all my coins. Like if I was leaving a desk, I would leave the desk on there for a little bit, for a day or two maybe. But I don't have I guess I don't have the discipline to organize everything right away. It takes me a while, but.
Yeah.
I'm still
well, and if I can get into a place and get myself situated, I want to start doing spreadsheets and really get things, more dialed in, and I've done computers pretty much since I've been in 7th grade. My first book report was done on an Apple. An old school Apple computer. And then when I went to high school, when I got into high school, my grandparents got us a PC for us to do homework and whatnot for school. And, but this was prior to really having internet dial-up. We didn't have the internet because we were so far in the country. But they, I had Windows 9.5 3 months before that was released to the public. So when everybody was having issues, I knew some of the issues that was going on.
I guess
so
mine came out to Linux because all our computers in the late '89, we were doing POS by Matrix, some kind of can't remember the exact name of it, but that was the
DOS.
80.
DOS.
Yeah, DOS. That's what it was. Matrix DOS is what it was called in our.
Yeah. What they refer to as what is referred to now as command prompt.
Yeah, that was complicated because everything was handwritten. Anything we sent over was handwritten, and we had to give it to the coders, and they did the entry, and then I just put in the numbers.
I've done. My grandfather was a Unix programmer. I did COBOL, which is way prehistoric. That's back when you like you said, you had to write everything out, and you had to plot it on a card, and then stick it in a machine to read the program. And so I did COBOL. I've done Java, C++, Python, SQL, DBase. I want to start. I picked up books before I left Washington for one called Rails, and I was like, I'm gonna start looking into that. But I got I think it's C#. Oh, I've also done HTML, which is website coding. It's not as hard as it actually is. It's actually if you can learn, say people, you can actually see codes on. If you were to open your computer up and then go to any random, website, you just pick. When you do a right click on your on your either mouse pad or on a laptop, or you actually have an actual mouse. If you press the right click on the mouse, it'll come up with a window, and there's a bunch of stuff there. At the very bottom, it says View Source Code. If you click that, it will actually flip off the actual website and actually show you the written code for that page.
Rich Kelly says he has the 1883 Carson City Deep Mirror Proof, like MS65, and it's a special daily holder, very rare for PCGS. I can't take a computer apart and know what everything's in there. I mean, I can identify the drive, like now the SD drives. I can identify the SD cards now. They're solid state.
Yeah.
RAM. I can tell you the size of each one of them. I can read, but to do a schematic and tell you what wires go to where and what it does for the transistor, nah.
Yeah. I got into that. I was starting to, like when I worked at the tech company back in Indiana, I repaired computers all day. So when towards the end of the time that I was there, the first time, they decided to create specific lines instead of everybody just working on everything at the same time. They put the small unit, small like Chromebooks and the small laptops that you get for like kids in school.
Right.
That would be on one line, and then the line that they had me working on was what was referred to as the all-in-one line, and or the full rebuild line, I should say. A lot of them were gaming PCs, and these like gaming PCs, a lot of them were metal cases. And if you drop a metal case and send it in to get repaired, it's a full rebuild. And depending on how you dropped it, if it was dropped with the screen open, the screen might get cracked, and you have to replace everything. To the point where if it was a full on like top to bottom rebuild, it was 125 screws from the bottom case to the top to the screen, to tear everything apart, and then get the new parts, and then redo it, and then run all the wires, reseat everything, put everything back in, but like a lot of times it was everything was just it was like keyboard, what we refer to as a top case, and that's where your keypad's at. For your
Yeah,
keyboard.
Rich Kelly's asking, was those Osborne computers?
No, the we were doing HP, but most of the it doesn't matter what brand you get. You can get HP, you can get Dell, you can get Gateway. I'm just throwing, even though Gateway is not really relevant anymore, but you get a Toshiba or anything like that. I can pretty much put it together. You know, that's one of the side jobs that I would like to do. But if I'm going to do that, I want to be in a home. I want to have my own place where I can, have inventory in the garage and workshop in my house. You know what I mean? I don't want to be.
I have to cut it short today because, and we're already, we're already an hour and 12 minutes already. But I'm glad that I got to see you guys. I'm glad to see that Steve came on. I didn't see Nickel, except I said he put something in the chat. But I'm really
Nickel don't talk.
Yeah, Pat's only like I said, internet neighbor, only 45 minutes from me. And Rich Kelly, shoot, I've been talking to him for hours at a time, and it was always been stimulating. And congratulations, and for him, coming to my stream, which I didn't even expect anybody would come.
Right. But yeah, I know you got to get up in the morning. And
at 8, and I got to get my grandkids at 11. One of them, and go see his game. Pick up my granddaughters, bring them home, and then go back. I think I'm going to go back and watch this football game at 5. But it's in Sangers, which is another hour away. So it's going to be a lot of. Dave's not here. God, Dave. I thought Dave was here. Rich Kelly, man, we need to get in touch again. I know I'll be able to. I got your number still. I'll get a hold of you, and we'll do another chat. Maybe early because sometimes these 3:30s. I'm going back to teaching, so I won't be doing these late nights.
I thought you had got started going back already.
I only went back just to get my credentials updated, my fingerprints, my yeah, all that stuff, and then I had to go do orientation. So all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm here. I'm gonna let you go, Hector. Thanks for letting me come up and chit chat. And
not a problem. Anytime. Well,
like I said, I'm gonna get in touch with you in the next month or so, and see about what I'm really gonna be doing.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't mind putting myself in debt to get into our house.
Well, that's your best bet. At least you'd be able to write it all off. Not all of it, but majority of it. And
I don't even care if I couldn't write it off, Hector. It would be more. This is more of an investment to my future. So, all right, everyone. I'm out. Later, guys.
Thanks for coming up. David Carlisle, thank you for coming. Like I said, I've got a big day today with a lot of traveling, picking up kids and grandkids, and go watching my grandsons play football. And it's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be busy. But Richie, is nice seeing you come up, and I'm glad to see that you're still available. And we'll get back together and we'll talk. So, everyone, good night. And I hope you guys all have a pleasant day. I'll probably be so tuckered out tomorrow that I'm going to be sleeping pretty late and early. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming in.